Same stage, new strat, new team, and new character. Eald'narche. I'm finally able to use this dude. His weapon is so weird. Look, I don't know what those are. I didn't play Final Fantasy XI, so I don't know what those are, or know who Balthier is. I couldn't resist. But, yeah. They're weird looking. I mean, we're going to get rid of them right now anyway. Oh, something I have to elaborate on. I said last time I did this to not bring target lock here. Let me be more specific. Don't bring target lock here unless it's in the form of a call and you put it on Eald'narche, because you want the enemies looking at Eald'narche. That way he can scare the shit out of them so they can't move, and he can just keep jumping in front, getting 1,000 turns, which is cool, but it has its downfalls, I'm seeing. One of them would be wearing out buffs. Take Aerith, for example. That healing wind buff lasts for 10 turns. That's a long time, right? Well, not if you're Eye Patch Boy and you're taking 1,000 turns. He just burns through it immediately. I don't know how important it really was to keep refreshing it, but it was just something that I noticed. It is cool that all of this is free, though. It's definitely a playstyle I'm not used to. And for him, that playstyle would be pressing the HP attack constantly, because you really have to with this guy or he's going to get spent so fast. On the plus side, though, the turns are free. So it's not like you're spamming HP attacks and barely making turn counts if you play it right. He's an interesting case. He is a lot of fun and definitely not what I'm used to doing, but that's fine. Branch out, do stuff you're not used to doing. Step out of your comfort zone from time to time. Because yeah, I know I do the launch cops and stuff on videos for the most part, but that's not all that I do. That's just mainly what I record as far as blind runs go, because normally with the blind run, I like to just go in and kick the door open and just do something that I know is going to work well. And something that I know I can share that will help other people that maybe, you know, skip the featured character and stuff like that. And I know a lot of people have, I know a ton of people have Cloud. Tons of people have Cloud and Ramza and stuff like that, so. And there's other substitutes for some of those characters too. So a lot of the teams I build, especially with the launch comps and stuff, there's other substitutes. But it is cool to branch out every now and again on the channel. And we're going to have to do that when Terra is Synergy, because I'm pretty sure it's, I don't know if it's every fight for that month, but it's, I don't think it's all of them, but for quite a bit of them, you can't really launch anything, which is fine. I'm honestly not worried about that at all. I can just do other stuff. It'll actually be exciting. It's like I'll have a reason to step out of what I've been doing lately. Because lately I haven't had much of a reason, because it's been working like clockwork. And I have fun doing it, which is the most important thing. I think it's because I'm a big fighting game fan. I like my air combos. And I incorporate some of that into this, I suppose. This is also the first LUFENIA I've brought Squall to. Well, that's not true. Like, no, that's not true. I've gone back to other stages. Yeah, when he was, yeah, like right after we got him with the LD boards. I went back to some old stages, but this is the first newer stage I've done with him. Because, I mean, what? Okay, we got the Start Dash banner, and then we got Ramuh, which is single target. I'm not bringing Squall to a single target. You can't make me do it. I won't do it. Nope. This is kind of an awkwardly timed launch because there's no battery, but that's fine. Use them to build. All good. I'm also constantly checking the debuffs. There is kind of a lot to keep track of with Eald'narche. It's your skill management, so you don't get spent. It's the debuffs. You want to make sure Terror and Warp are up basically at all times. You only get 2 turns of both. Unless you see 65, then I believe it's 4 turns. He also has, with the LD, he has a, it's kind of like a Jack debuff, it seems, where it increases the brave damage taken, the targets, which is cool. I don't know why I used that there. Seemed like a weird time to do that. But that's fine, I guess. Definitely should have waited until Onion Knight was out, so that launch would have hit harder, but that's fine. I think I was worried about the delay, but now looking at it, there was no reason to be at all, because Eald'narche's EX should be up, which is the only way he can inflict terror, by the way. That and his initial skill 1, when he removes the eye patch, it inflicts terror. But after that, all you can do to put terror on is his EX, so that means it's very important if you want to loop back into it. It's good that he gets a bunch of turns so that he can work his way back up to charging his EX, but if you HP attack too much, terror might not be ready in time. So you gotta time your skills properly, while at the same time not being spent. But if you can weather that storm, Eald'narche is very good at just crippling your enemies. Very good at it. Always has been. There is also no Jack call on this team, which I have not done in forever. I think, pretty sure I've brought Jack as a call in every fight I've been to since Jack came out with the LD. But it would have been awkward with this team because there's already so many debuffs. Okay, let's think about this. We have Eald'narche has 3, I'm pretty sure. He's got Terror, Warp, and whatever the name of his LD debuff is, I don't remember. And then Aerith has the 1. And then Celeste has the target. Okay, that's already crazy. That's a lot. And then we got to worry about the Ramu paralysis, possibly. It's a lot to tango with as far as debuffs go. So I'm going to be very happy when we get that quality of life update. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Don't even. Quality of life update. Excuse me. When they extend the debuff slots from 6 to 8, that's gonna be awesome. Because that's one of my biggest problems with comps like this, and just debuff characters in general. Like, a lot of them, I'm not saying they're bad, okay? I'm not saying they're bad. It's just, for me, I'm not a big fan of it. That's one of the reasons I didn't give Caius a second thought. I know a lot of people were saying he's really good, and he is good, and his call ability people really like. I like it too, but the big thing I don't like about it is I'm pretty sure it's like 4 debuffs, which is ridiculous. Because, I mean, if you think about it, a lot of these LDs we're getting, a lot of these upgrades we're getting with these characters, most of their enhancements, not most, but a good chunk of them, come in the form of a debuff that you inflict on the enemy. So, if you want to pair a lot of this new stuff together, you kind of have to be careful with your debuff slots. And if you have one guy inflicting 4, and then we have calls to worry about, a lot of those are because of debuffs, it's like, where would I even put you on the team? Is there a place for you? I mean, there is, but you have to be really specific with team comp, and there isn't that much freedom if you bring too many debuffs. So I'm not a big fan of it. Other people will disagree, and that's fine. You know, people do their own thing. It's all right. There's no right or wrong way to play this, you know. It's good to experiment with other things, but yeah, this in particular isn't generally what I do. But I did have fun doing it. I'm just kind of voicing, you know, in my mind what cons with it would be. Squall really does make it so the ads kind of just melt, which is really helpful. But that's also a weird combination, because you kind of want the ads to get turns with Eald'narche here, because that means he just gets more free turns. So I don't know. It's like you want him to die, but you also don't, because you want to take advantage of Eald'narche's free turn. So it's a weird balance to strike. The Aerith, though, Aerith's cleaning up. I got no complaints about her. She's awesome. I love... They loaded this LD. So I'm probably losing track of all the stuff that it does. Okay, so it's got HP damage up with Seal Evil. It triggers follow-up attacks, which don't do that much on hit, but they batter your team, and it's awesome. It also prevents them from gaining buffs, and the we can't get debuffed prevents, like, Brave gain, I'm pretty sure. If I've said anything wrong, let me know, but I know most of what I just said was right. I'm kind of just going off of memory here, so forgive me if it's not 100% correct. But it does a lot. They loaded that LD. It's so nice. In fact, I'm the worst Final Fantasy VII fan ever. Why doesn't my Aerith have high armor? That is a travesty. I gotta give her high armor after this. I just thought of that. I'm not gonna bother getting Eald'narche's, because for a few reasons. One, he isn't a favorite of mine. Like I said, I never even played Final Fantasy XI, so I'm not too partial to it. Also, it's tactics, which is what they tend to do for debuffers. They tend to give them tactics armor, which is fine for the most part. It just kind of strengthens their boss nerfing capabilities. You know, it makes them better at what they already do. But with Eald'narche, I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense because, okay, with tactics armor, you are lowering the stats of all the enemies even further, so that means they're even more nerfed when they swing at you. But with Eald'narche, they're barely going to swing at you anyway, so why would I even bother investing in the tactics armor for Eald'narche if the enemies are going to be sitting ducks either way? Now, if down the line I manage to luck sack Eald'narche's burst, then yes, I'll get the high armor, because that's a rule of thumb for me. If I have a character's burst, they're getting the high armor. That way they can perform to their maximum potential. But that's yeah, Emperor. I didn't bother getting his high armor because I never got his burst. So, yeah. But I mean, you know, I'm over here talking about like the minor problems that debuff teams have and stuff, but if you're looking at the flow of this fight, they are stuck. They can't do anything. But we kind of have all the control here. And that's all because of Eald'narche. I mean, the other two are doing great, but Eald'narche is, make no mistake, Eald'narche is the one keeping us alive right now. Because of that, right there. I do like that Celeste's bombs go off even when she's not here. That's pretty sweet. But although Eald'narche has been, I mean, obviously it's helpful, it's his event. But although he's put in some serious work in this fight, he is going to be the swap because, one, he's going to get spent the fastest, and two, I want that Onion Knight HP damage up for when we go into Squall's burst. Which in retrospect, I probably should have done sooner than this. I probably should have, because it's getting to a point where these ads are going to die. And then what's Squall gonna do? He's gonna hammer away at a single target, which isn't the ideal situation to really maximize Squall's burst damage, but honestly I don't think it really mattered that much anyway, because I mean, what does it matter if you're damaging the ads in the burst? Not much, because for the most part they just get revived anyway, and it's not like we're focusing the ads. I mean, everything that we've hit them with has been splash damage, so it hasn't even been a problem really. They're kind of just in the way. Oh, that's something I want to comment on. I'm seeing a lot of people on various like Facebook groups and Twitter and Discords and stuff talking about this stage. And okay, I'm not judging here. I'm not telling you what to do. So just relax. It's just observations, okay? All right, cool. I'm seeing a lot of people who are bringing really strong teams and not getting the turn counts. And I think I have an idea as to why that might be. Maybe I'm wrong, but let me know. I'm seeing a lot of questions about who should I kill first, the big one or the ads? Now, it's hard to answer that. I mean, you want the ads to die first, yes. But if you're saying who should I kill first, that implies who should I focus on? And you should focus on the big one, because he's the big tanky son of a bitch who wants to kill us. So that's who you want to focus on. But you do want the ads to die so that you can actually maneuver around this guy, because you can't delay him until the ads are dead. With a comp like this, you don't need delay, but for people who skipped Eald'narche, which is a lot of people, you're going to want some turn delay, so you want the ads dead. But that doesn't mean you should hard focus the ads. Like, for example, if you're going to bring lightning, I would not suggest like using lightning's EX on one of the ads. Like, don't do that. Let things like splash damage take care of the ads, and then once the ads are dead, then you can go in, get your Ramu stun on, and then you'll never see the ads again. And then you can just bring it home. You don't want to waste time pouring a bunch of energy into the ads. You want them to just kind of die of natural causes, which would be splash damage in this case. So hopefully that helps. I don't know, I'm not trying to judge, it's just something I've seen, and that's my theory as to why this might be happening. But anyway, Eald'narche, you've done great work. Onion Knight, you need to pump up Squall, because Squall's bursting into single target is not so good. So we're gonna need all the help we can get. I kind of just forgot to use it. We have all this other juice, we might as well just dump it on this dude before we go into our burst and our summon and bring this home. And looking at this right here, I should have used my burst right here, but I didn't. Didn't even bother with the free skill since we're stacked on skills anyways, just do the damage. But it doesn't matter because Onion Knight can bring Squall right up in front again and hook Squall up with another free skill before he goes into this burst, so that way we do not have to press the HP attack while we're in here. Which is great because, like I keep saying, Squall, one target, not great. But thank God for these follow-ups and for the HP damage boost provided by both Aerith and Onion Knight at this point. So it's going to help him actually do something. Like, this isn't going to be no 3 million, 4 million, 5 million crazy damage, but it gets the job done. Okay, well, you know what? Over 1 million on a single target, that's not half bad for Squall. Really isn't. So I'll take it. Okay. I'm gonna just bring this home because we can. 7%? Yeah, just a matter of time now. So I guess this, you'd consider this my more, I hate using this term, my quote-unquote legit run. Maybe people say, I don't know why people say that, maybe it's just by means to avoid cheesing fights and stuff, but which, if that's what you're into, go ahead. I'm not judging, but I don't think it's fair to judge other people who don't do it your way. That's just me. And by saying things like, I did it legit, the implication there is that everyone else did it illegitimately. Not cool, dude. Alright. Oh, we still got one of these left. And that's that. Alright. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Take care.